but you still have a list. So that's the pending list with Rahu and Ketu. Yeah, good, good. Yep, okay. So you have to first discover the list and decode the list. It's more than discover, I would say it's decoding. Yeah, it's decoding. So, okay. Now, I've said this at a very high level. Now, I'm going to give some applications, end of the day, right? We're all here because we all have karma. Okay. Now, how do you reduce that karmic burden? And I'm going to give based on, again, this is Vedic astrology. Do not apply Western, in terms of ascendance or anything. Okay, it won't work. So you have to apply Vedic astrology for this remedy or to understand this. Okay, now I would need volunteers. Okay, I don't need people to disclose your information or anything. As I keep on talking, this is going to be based on ascendant. Okay, as I keep on giving about remedy for each ascendant, I will tell with surety, 90% surety, that one of the remedy, whatever ascendant you are, right, be it a Aries or a Taurus or a Libra, that one remedy I'll give multiple remedies or multiple things. You would have done one remedy, at least the one I would have mentioned, without knowing that it's a remedy, you would have done it. That is all I need to know. If you are able to confirm that, that would be very helpful. All you can do is message and say, you don't need to give your ascendant or anything. Yes, I can confirm that I have done that once in my life without knowing it was a remedy. Yeah, so that will be very helpful. Okay, so I would appreciate that. But I will tell you that you would have done it without knowing it as a remedy. Okay, so let's look at some of those things as well. All right. So first I will give you the rules. Before I go to the remedies or stuff, maybe I'll take a pause. How do you? I mentioned it in the last recorded session, but today is not recorded, so we just have to navigate through the challenges today, and that's the karma for today. Yeah. So so interestingly, can so let's explain this again, right? Very interesting. Can somebody do a muhurta for right now and see what is the ascendant and check out? Yeah, just curious, what's the ascendant? Because it will be somewhere associated with Saturn, Rahu, Ketu. Yeah, can somebody check? You can check. Somebody can check for India. Somebody can check for US. Somebody can check for Canada. But in terms of nakshatra, I know Moon is in Pushya nakshatra. Moon should be in Pushya, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just curious. Oh, great! Thank you, Demonic.
Moon in Punarvasu, fourth pada.
That's in
Actually,
India,
in
probably.
India.
Yeah,
India,
India.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
For US, I think Central Time Zone, Eastern. Mira, you want to check Eastern, Central, whatever it is, it'll be Pushya. Anybody checking for that?
Yes, it's Moon in Pushya.
Moon in Pushya. Yeah, thank you. So Moon in Punarvasu, Toronto. Okay, Toronto. Okay. No, it can't be Moon in Punarvasu, Toronto then, because Toronto is Eastern Time Zone. No, it can't be. Something is wrong. It has to be Pushya.
Moon in Pushya. Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay, sorry. No, I'm not telling you, Mira,
Okay.
sorry. Sai Karthik messaged Moon in Punarvasu, Toronto. So, yep, okay. Perfect. Thank you. Okay. So it's already Saturn influence there. Okay. In half an hour, it will be Pusha, Australia, East Coast. Okay. So somewhere there's an interesting karmic thing. Okay. So the way to look at is the main karmic keepers are Rahu, Ketu, Saturn. Okay. Saturn. Number one, from a planet. Okay. Number two is from a house perspective, in D1, it's Aquarius, to summarize. Yeah. But if you take each lagna, that will also change. Okay. Your dharma, right? Your dharma is the ninth. Your karma is the 10th. Okay, your dharma is the ninth, your karma is the 10th. Every lagna it will change, even though the karma karaka will be Saturn. Yeah, the karma karaka will be Saturn, and Rahu and Ketu will also induce the karma in the chart. Very interestingly, people who are born in the nakshatras of Rahu and Ketu, first note this key thing. People who are born in the nakshatras of Rahu and Ketu will undergo both Rahu Mahadasa and Ketu Mahadasa very likely, most likely, very likely. The nakshatras of Ketu are Ashwini Magha Mula. Okay, Ashwini Magha Mula. The nakshatras of Rahu are Ardra, right? Swati and Satabhisha, right? So the nakshatras, if one is born in these nakshatras of Rahu or Ketu, they will undergo both Rahu Mahadasa and Ketu Mahadasa. Now, on top of it, if you're born in the nakshatra of Rahu, you will undergo Rahu Mahadasa plus a Saturn Mahadasa plus a Ketu Mahadasa. Okay? But if you're born in the nakshatra of Ketu, you may undergo Saturn Mahadasa, may not, but most likely you'll undergo Ketu and Rahu. You will undergo, one will undergo, yeah? Most likely, okay? So you see how this changes, how this is impactful here, yeah? So number one, right? Number one, I explained the karmic keepers, right? The houses. The natural karma holder is Saturn, okay? Remember that. Now each lagna, it will change. So your dharma, your karma. So every time when you do dharma, right, you reduce your karma. Okay? Okay. So this is regardless of your mahadasa. This is regardless of everything. I am not even telling, I'm there are so many things to look at. Who is sitting in the 10th house, who is aspecting the 10th house, who is sitting in the ninth lord, everything. Forget all that. Okay? Just take any lagna and I will go over each lagna. Yeah? Who is sitting in the who owns the 10th, right? Who owns the 10th, who owns the ninth, and we'll break it down. But the easy way to reduce your karma, right, is to focus on your ninth house, ninth lord. Okay? The ninth house, ninth lord, and reduce your karma. Also, you can focus on your 10th house, 10th lord. They are connected because what is the ninth house? The ninth house is 12th to the 10th house, right? In a chart. 12th. What is 12th to a house? It's loss of that house. Okay? What it means is loss of karma is through dharma. In simple terms, loss of karma is through dharma. Okay? Now understand that. Okay? So loss of karma is through dharma. Okay? I will break it down one by one so each of you can start writing it down. And as I said, here is where I would need confirmation if these ascendants would have done any of these remedies in their life. I am assuming we'll see. I think it's 9 out of 10. I should get an answer. Yeah. So we look at Aries ascendant first. Aries ascendant, Mars is the owner of Aries house. Okay. So Mars is the Lagna Lord. The ninth Lord is Jupiter. The 10th Lord is Saturn. Okay. Lagna Lord, ninth Lord, 10th Lord. I'm touching all three here. Now, the very interesting thing is, right? The 12th house, Jupiter owns the ninth plus the 12th. So here, everything you have to be very careful. You have to look at dual lordships here, right? Dual lordships and understand because the Lagna Lord, right, also owns the eighth. You see, so the Lagna Lord Mars also owns the eighth Scorpio, right? The ninth Lord also owns the 12th. You have to look at both here, right? And Saturn, the 10th Lord, also owns the 11th. Okay, so the if you look at it based on this, right? The most important thing for Aries ascendant to burn their karma, right? Thursday will be the most important day for them. Thursday, yeah, for all Aries ascendants, yeah. And number one, okay, what it means is fasting on a Thursday. Okay, fasting on Thursdays, feeding people, right, on Thursdays, poor people and all those things on Thursdays, right? If at all you're eating meat or seafood, I would say that avoid eating all of those on a Thursday. Okay, donate and apart from Thursday. So this is for Thursday. Yeah. Now, so the ninth house is associated with Jupiter and Sagittarius, but the ninth is also the 12th with Jupiter with Pisces. So the best way to reduce karma is, one way is one can donate money for kids, yeah, or help fatherly people, right? Whenever, I'm just giving example, you're going to supermarket, you see the old person walking, trying to cross the road, go help, make the person cross the road, those kind of things. Then helping anything with school also, right? Temples, gurus, right? Educating poor children. Okay, all these things, right, is associated. It is just not charity. That is a specific way. It is number one. It is about money, definitely. Also, other than money, you can help, students or poor people, right? Through whichever way it is. Now here, I will take a pause, right? I will take a pause. I mentioned this earlier, and I think I will also say this. Okay, there are six types of donation. It was always five, but there is six, right? And I will give that sequence also so that you kind of know it, right? The most important donation when it comes to donation, the number one is called Godana. Okay, now Godana, right? Now go, the word go, right, is means has several meanings, and anybody wants to type can type. So I'll keep talking, but anybody wants to know what is go can type and check. It's in Sanskrit, yeah. Go resembles actually a cow. Okay, a cow, number one, right? Go also resembles, correct, cow. Go also resembles, very interest. There is an interesting word in Sanskrit for go. Okay, it is called ray of light. In science, if you are science students, you have something called ray, ray, ray of light, right? That is also the word go in Sanskrit. Yeah. So basically, by doing, which is also cow, associated with the cow. So by doing that, you get the ray of light from the darkness. Yeah. So the chara means movement or the transit, right? In reality, today we call it as gochar, but in those days, the ancient people who are living and what all these things, they always followed the cow, the way it gives milk and everything, to understand the transit of the planets. Like during an eclipse time, they know what's going to happen to the cow, right? And all those things. So the whole study of the Gochar was with the cow, basically, yeah. And they say that the Gochar, the Godana is the Go stands for the ray of light. Okay, so number one, right? You're going to get the highest points for a cow donation. If you remember, or if you probably know the stories, yeah, the big war happened between Vashishta and Vishwamitra was only for the Kamadenu. Okay, Kamadenu, it was for a cow. Yeah, so do not underestimate the thing of a cow. Okay. Same thing, if you look at it, Kashyapa Maharishi got a curse, right? Because he refused to return the cow to Varuna. So they say that Kashyapa Maharishi was born as Vasudeva, which is Krishna's father, per se, right? Again, he refused to return the cow. So he got cursed by Brahma, even though Brahma apologized, saying that it was a little bit fast, right? The other thing is, if you look at it, right, Hiranyakshipu and even what he did, the first thing he captured was all the devas and everybody, and he took the Kamadenu and Nandini to his place. So the first thing he captured was the cow again. So the cow was a very sacred thing. So treating a cow is such an important thing, right? So my guru used to tell this to me, right? Killing and eating a cow, right, is one cow is equivalent to stamping 1,000 pregnant women in the stomach. So that's the same equivalent thing, apparently. That's the karma one will get. That's kind of what my guru taught me. Yeah. So do remember that as well. And so the first is Godana. Okay. Number one. After Godana, the second is Annadana, which is food. Yeah, food, giving food to people. The minute you give food to people, your karma will reduce, and the person who is also taking food, their karma will also change. Yeah, or even you not eating food, also the fasting, right? That is also the same thing, right? So, first is the Godana, the next is Annadana, okay? Second. The third one is Vidyadana, teaching something, okay? You go teach people, like somebody going and teaching. And we will come to that later, but that's Vidyadana, you teach people, like freelancing work. Yeah, that is the third one, okay? The fourth one is called, in today's world, we do a lot. I would also recommend, which is nothing but blood donation. Okay. Okay. That's the blood donation. Okay. The blood donation, that's called the Ratadana. Right. So that's the fourth one. Yeah. The fifth one, if you look at it, is Bhudana, land, giving land. Okay. As a donation. Okay. Now, land can be for several reasons, right? Can be for farming, but for like a house, living, or farming, in all those things. Yeah. The last one in this is Dhana Dana. Yeah, Dhana Dana. So that it means money. So if you look at it, right? If you look at it, the last one in this, the donations, the sixth one, if you look at, comes in the sequence, is Dhana Dana. Yeah, which is money. Okay, because money, apparently, if you look at, it is not something which you think, we all earn, we all get it, right? But it is not something owned by you. Neither you're going to take it, right? But money, the most important thing in money here is that it's a blessing that you are able to get the money. That's the most important thing. Okay. So these remedies for D1 Lagna, absolutely correct. It's all for D1. Yep. So we discussed about Aries. Okay. So let's look at Taurus Ascendant, right? Because Taurus will be very interesting now. Okay. So I explained the 6 ways of the 6 important things to look at donation, and the priorities. Yeah. Dana gets the lowest. Okay. So when you come to Taurus, right, the Lagna Lord is Venus. Okay. Saturn is the ninth Lord, but Saturn is also the 10th Lord, right? And interestingly, Venus, the Lagna Lord, is also the 8th Lord here, or the 6th Lord, my mistake. It's the 6th Lord, right? The Lagna Lord. And Saturn, the ninth Lord, is also the 10th Lord. So that is, again, if you look at Vedic astrology, one of the pristine, or the best yogas, they say, is the Dharma Karmadipati Yoga. Yeah, Dharma Karmadipati Yoga. Unfortunately, right, Aries ascendant don't have Dharma Karmadipati Yoga, right? Aries ascendant, Taurus ascendant kind of also don't have Dharma Karmadipati Yoga. I kind of say it as a half Dharma Karmadipati Yoga. Like you have a half and half milk, it's kind of half and half, right? Unless the Mercury joins with them as the fifth lord here, then you can get a half of it in this case in Taurus. Yeah. So because Saturn is also the Dharma Lord, Saturn is also the Karma Lord. Okay. So for Taurus ascendant, right? Because Saturn is the Dharma Lord plus the Karma Lord, right? So Saturday becomes the most important thing. Fasting and feeding on Saturdays, right? Avoid meat and stuff on Saturdays as well. Because Saturn is the prime person here, right? As the Dharma law to reduce it, helping old people, handicapped people, right? Right? Here is more of money doing some freelancing work or effort for these people, right? Even everything donating with Saturn Karakas, like iron or black color stuff, right? Even if you have servants or somebody, treating them properly, right? Here it's more of, I would say, effort, hard work. Okay, hard work. And even in this case, I mentioned earlier Godana cow. Here it's more like a buffalo here, donating a buffalo, right? And for Aries, I think I probably would have missed out the deity. It's Dakshinamurti. Here it's typically Vishnu, or should say Lakshmi Vishnu here. Yeah, that's the deity you want to pray with. Okay, so that's for Taurus ascendant. Yeah, so these are the important points for Taurus. Okay, the next I'll go to is Gemini. Okay, Gemini ascendant. Mercury is the Lagna Lord. Okay, Mercury is the Lagna Lord, plus Mercury is also the fourth Lord, and Saturn will be the ninth Lord, right? But Saturn is also the eighth Lord here, right? Plus Jupiter is the 10th Lord, right? And Jupiter is also the 7th Lord. Again, there is no Dharma Karmadipati Yoga here as well for a Gemini ascendant. There's no Dharma Karmadipati. So it's like half and half. If a Gemini ascendant really has to have a good Dharma Karmadipati Yoga, then Venus has to join in this conjunction or aspect somewhere to get a half and half Dharma Karmadipati Yoga. Okay, so Parashara also says that there's no Dharma Karma Adhipati Yoga for all these three ascendants to start with. So there is that extra effort somewhere they have to put, yeah, for the karma. So if you look at that, right, here, because the ninth lord again, okay, the ninth lord is again Saturn, like like Taurus. But the only difference for Taurus is it owns ninth and 10th. Here it's ninth and 8th. So there are some common things, but there are some different things between Taurus and Gemini. Okay, so Saturday again it becomes an important day, right? Fasting and feeding people on Saturday, avoid meat and everything. Usually, if you see Gemini ascendant people, the kind of work they do, right? I call it as like a soft work people, right? When I say soft work, right, what it means is it's more involved with the mind, the head, the brain, right? Not the body. The Taurus ascendant people, lot of them you will see they will exert the body work more and more for the effort. Here it's all mind work, right? For example, if you're managing just people, I'll just give an example. You're managing 20 people, right? You're just applying your mind here to manage the people, right? Versus Taurus ascendant people could be, typically working on a farm, for example, right? Or helping handicapped people, old age people, and all those things. So there is some laborious work involved one way. Okay, so that's a big difference here. So for a Gemini ascendant people coming back, right, it's a soft work, and here teaches, even for example teaching classes, that's a perfect example. Tuition, right? Tuition, teaching classes, advisor, right? Being an advisor, training, coaching, like a guide, like a mentoring, right? Those kind of things is a very good remedy for a Gemini ascendant people, rather than even donating money or anything. Here it's all about the mind. Okay, so those are the things I would say. Even for example, right, usually Gemini ascendant people, when something like happens, like for example a hurricane happens, a tsunami happens, right, these are some of the first people. They will collect all the people, they will bring all the people together, they will try to go and create a fund, they will try to do some relief, they will try to contribute from their company, they will do all kind of those initiatives, usually Gemini ascendant people. Okay, so they are pretty good in this typically. And again, the because it's a Saturn as an influencing thing, I would always say that um, Lakshmi Vishnu becomes a very important deity here for kind of solving or reducing a burden of the karma. Okay, it's a trick. Brain work is the route to psychosis and bypassing intuition. Okay, all right. So far we've done three ascendants. Okay, next let's touch Cancer ascendant. Okay, so Cancer ascendant, Moon is the Lagna Lord. So there is no other, Moon doesn't have any other ownership, right? So it's the first time you're touching one here, Lagna Lord. Okay, Jupiter owns the ninth and the 12th, two ownership, right? Mars, right? Mars owns the 10th plus the 5th, right? Because Jupiter is the ninth lord, Mars is the 10th lord. Now Jupiter also owns the 12th, Mars also owns the 5th. Okay, for Cancer ascending people, Thursday, right? um Sorry, I said yeah, Thursday, right? Because ninth lord, Thursday, fasting, feeding people on Thursday. Avoid, meat and seafood or everything on Thursday. Okay, usually for a Cancer ascendant people, if you see, right, The biggest remedy for them is to sometimes sacrifice things in life at workplace, sacrifice power and position. Why power and position? If you look at the 10th house, it belongs to Aries, right? And what happens in Aries is the first house in the Kalpurush where sun gets exalted, right? Sun is always the head, right? So sacrificing a position, right? Sacrificing a position or sacrificing something, you've got a very good opportunity, but you said, you know what, I am not taking it. I just want to let it go for something, or just giving it out something without having a plan B, plan C, plan D, plan E, anything. You just forsake it. You just abandon it and go. The best example I will tell you is Vishwamitra, right? Take an example of Vishwamitra. Now, I'm not telling Vishwamitra is a Cancer ascendant, but I'm telling you what he did. He just abandoned his whole kingdom. He just let it go, right? Vishwamitra was born as Kaushika. Kaushika abandoned it, right? And he went in search of Kamadeva, right? That is where the whole thing was with Vashishta, right? But giving that kind of a thing, right? Abandoning the whole thing. That's the biggest thing for Cancer ascendant, considering that Jupiter is exalted in the ascendant, and in the 10th house, Sun gets exalted. And the Karma Karaka, right? The most important thing is the Karma Karaka, Saturn gets debilitated. Okay, the karma karaka Saturn gets debilitated. Yeah, so that's kind of what it is. Okay, now also, right, also helping people, right, or helping people in jobs, right, donation of land. Why? Because Mars is the karmic owner here, also the 10th house, right? Even home building support, something supporting temples, right? Supporting temples, charity for temples, money for people, helping people who are not able to travel with some money, you know, secretly helping people. Yeah, secretly helping people without kind of telling anybody, helping siblings, because Mars is also the Karaka for siblings, right? And of course, because Jupiter is the ninth lord here, right? Praying to Dakshinamurti is another remedy as well. Okay. All right. I have a question, right? So, if these ascendants were given placements such that they couldn't do these remedies, does that mean they are being denied the ability to do the remedy? Um, Now, if that is the case, then probably the karma is not common for them to do the remedy. Yeah, the karma is not common. So look at it today as a perfect example, right? I thought I did everything correct, and I'm the one usually I don't, I always have replays on. For some reason, I realized that replays are not on, and I didn't even know for a long time, and even until Neela came and mentioned it, right? So that's a karma again, right? That karma is so strong that it just prevented it. And this was the same session which was supposed to happen a month ago. And then I was traveling and I couldn't do it because of work. And then eventually back to back the eclipse and Akshay Tritiya, all those things happened. So this got moved out. But somewhere in this whole thing, recording got, I didn't put the replay on, or somehow it got lost and I missed it completely, right? So it's a karma thingy. Yep. Okay. Now let's come to Leo ascendant. So Leo ascendant, Sun will be the Lagna Lord. So Sun is the Lagna Lord and Mars is the ninth Lord. Venus is the 10th Lord. Now, sorry, by the way, one more thing. One more thing I forgot. Yeah, I just remembered because I touched Mars and Venus now. Okay, for Cancer ascendant, very interestingly, right? And we'll touch to when we touch Capricorn, also we'll come to this. But for Cancer ascendant, if you look at Cancer ascendant, Mars is the owner of the 10th, but Mars is also owner of 5th. So that's what Parashara says as Yoga Karaka here. And if you look at the 10th house and the 5th house placement, they are 6 8 to each other. 6 8. That's called Shastashtaka, right? So what happens is every time you burn your Purva Punya Sthana, right? You lose your Purva Punya Sthana, you burn your karma because of 6th and 8th. Okay, so what happens is naturally sacrificing some of those things, right? Sacrificing a lot of the things I mentioned, power, helping your siblings, all those things, right? You burn your 5th house karma and everything will help burn your 10th house karma naturally. Okay, so your 5th and 10th, you can see a very good connection because Mars is the co-lord here. Yeah, Mars is the ownership here. Okay. So but the important point is the Mula Trikona of Mars comes in the 10th, which is in Aries. Okay. So that's a very strong karmic thing here, but the Trikona is the 5th, which is coming there. Yeah. So that's something important to note. All right, I'll come back to Leo ascendant because that's when I remembered Yoga Karaka again for Leo. So for Leo ascendant, right, Sun is the Lagna Lord. Mars is the 9th Lord, who is also the 4th Lord. So Mars is a Yoga Karaka here again, right? And Venus is the 10th Lord, right? Plus Venus is also the 3rd Lord here. But Venus is also the 3rd Lord. Now, Sun is the Lagna Lord, has only one so-called Adipatya, right? One Adipatya, one ownership, no dual like Moon, right? So we look at Mars owning two houses, 9th and 4th, right? And 9th and 4th, and then Venus owning 10th and 3rd. Here again, Tuesday, right? Because the ninth lordship is with Mars, Tuesday, fasting and feeding people on Tuesday, right? Absolutely donating blood, especially on a Tuesday, okay? Helping siblings, okay? It can be with money, it can be with land, those kind of things, okay? And the most important thing is helping mother or mother's family relatives, mother's side. It's very important here, right? Helping mother and mother's family side relatives. Okay. Why? Because Mars also owns the 4th house here, the 4th lordship with Mars here. Okay. And helping monies even for, like, for example, ladies' marriage, right? Marriage. Why? Because Venus is associated with the 10th, right? Temple buildings, uh, giving money for temples, buildings, those kind of things, or any kind of charity to temples also. Yeah. And the deity or thing to be prayed or associated for, typically for Leo ascendant people, for the specific thing of karma is Hanuman or Murga. Yeah. Hanuman and Murga. Okay. Um, any questions so far? Let's see. Deity for Cancer ascendant, Dakshinamurti. Yep, deity for Cancer ascendant, ninth lord, this Dakshinamurti. Okay, which is a version of Shiva with the moon thingy. Yeah, it's called Dakshinamurti. Okay, all right. Now comes to Virgo. Okay, so Virgo is going to be very interesting, and we'll tell you the remedies are very different now as you touch Virgo and Libra, because you're coming to the 6th and 7th in the Kal Purush now. Yeah. So Virgo, Mercury is the first house owner lord, but Mercury is also if you look at it, right, Mercury is also the 10th lord here, right, in Virgo. Now Venus becomes the 9th lord owner. So Mercury owns dual ownership, first and 10th. The first is the Mula Trikona, the 10th is the Ucha Kendra, where Gemini comes. Venus owns the Venus is the 9th lord here for a Virgo ascendant, but Venus also owns the 2nd house also. Okay. So typically, because Venus is very important here rather than Mercury, right? So the remedies would be fasting, feeding, fasting and feeding people on Fridays, right? Fasting on Friday, feeding people on Friday, avoiding meat, seafoods, everything on Friday, right? And usually for Virgo ascendant, because the first lord is also the 10th lord, right? They need to be a little bit more humble, kill the ego of self, because a lot of Virgo ascendants will end up studying a lot, and at some point can have some kind of, for lack of better word, I'll just use it like an ego or something like a complex or those kind of things, right? Letting go those things is very important for a Virgo ascendant. Okay, so that's very important, and helping spouse family is a very important thing, right? Helping spouse family is an important thing because Venus typically owns the ninth house here, right? Plus the second, helping ladies, all kind of ladies, right? By money, whatever it is, right? Food and all those things I've explained already, right? and even conducting like marriage or marriage ceremonies, whatever money you could do to help somebody's marriage, those kind of things, right? And another very important remedy for a Virgo ascendant is also that they donate, right? They donate what they know, right? Like for free, or teach, like, do tuitions, right? Freelancing classes, right? Teach people however you can, right? So that's the most important remedy for Virgo ascendant. Okay. The deity or the thing to be prayed is again Lakshmi and Vishnu. Yeah. Lakshmi, Vishnu typically. Yeah. So that's the thing for Virgo. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay. All right. Now let's go to a Libra. Now, now you're coming exactly. Now we finished the first six houses. We're going to come to the seventh, where you're kind of the energy is kind of being transferred from first axis to the seventh axis. Okay. So for Libra, if you look at, right, Venus is the Lagna Lord. Okay. Mercury is the ninth Lord, right? And tenth belongs to the Moon. Okay. Now Moon doesn't have any other ownership. Okay. Moon doesn't have any other ownership. Mercury, who's the ninth lord, is also the 12th lord. Now, you don't, I mean, yes, there is a yoga karaka of Saturn. So don't go to the yoga karaka and everything for Libra right now, right? Because it's not directly associated with ninth or 10th here. It's kind of associated with fourth and fifth. Yeah. So again, Venus, Lagna Lord, Mercury is the ninth lord, and Moon is the 10th lord. Okay. So the most important thing for Libra ascendant people, Wednesday, right? Fasting, feeding, fasting on a Wednesday or feeding people on a Wednesday, those kind of same things again. Avoid meat and seafood on Wednesday if at all you're eating it. Yeah. Now, importantly, right? Importantly, helping servants, laborers, old age home people, orphanage, even like school, right? School, anything with school, teaching children, right? Orphanage, for example, right? Any kind of freelancing, right? And anything with naturally helping, like disasters, flood or hurricanes happening, also helping one way, right? Or giving books to people, right? Books to students who can't afford it, right? Giving even food or milk or rice and those kind of things, even simpler slippers or something to wear, right? And in terms of donation, it can be like a cow or a goat as well, right? Teaching. Teaching is a very important thing for Libra ascendant people. Yeah, teaching what knowledge they have, what they know, taking care of children, taking care of children in just not the what is the right word? Regular children, like deaf, dumb, those kind of things, handicapped children, those kind of communities and children as well. Yeah. So that's very important, and the deity associated with Lakshmi and Vishnu here. Okay. Now, after Libra, it's Scorpio. Okay. Scorpio. So Scorpio is very interesting because the Lagna Lord is Mars, and Mars is also the sixth Lord. Okay, Lagna Lord, sixth Lord. What is interesting is here is the first time you're going to touch the Dharma and Karma belonging to luminaries. The ninth belongs to Sun, I'm sorry, Moon, and the 10th belongs to the Sun. So you're having luminaries, right? Like for example, we saw Taurus ascendant. The Dharma and Karma belong to the same planet Saturn, which is of darkness. Here, Scorpio, the Dharma and the Karma belongs to two luminaries, Moon and Sun. Okay, so Mars is the Lagna Lord, plus Mars is also the sixth Lord. But Moon and Sun, we know, don't have any other ownership. Okay, so typically for these for Scorpio ascendant people, Monday is going to be the most important day for them for fasting or feeding people, right? Avoiding meat and stuff like that. Okay, taking care of parents, specifically mother side and all those things, mother, right? That's very important for us Scorpio ascendant, right? In terms of donation or anything, offering something like water, simple as water. Yeah, nothing big. Your vegetables, fruits, right? Food, helping farmers. Okay, helping farmers, donation of umbrellas or donation of slippers, right? Those kind of things, right? And I also say that Scorpio ascendant people should be very careful with the way how they treat their father's family also, because Sun owns the 10th house here. Yep. And the most important thing for Scorpio ascendant people, I would say, is because the luminary owns the ninth and the 10th. Sometimes it's okay to let go of things. Usually, Scorpio ascendant people can hold two things, yeah, because of the ninth and the 10th coming between the luminaries here. So, letting go of things is a very good thing. One of the remedies also is because the luminaries are involved for dharma and karma. So donating something like light bulbs, light tube lights and stuff to temples, donating oil, right, threads, the threads which is used, right, for the lights, right, for the diyas, right, the threads kind of a thing, oil to light those, right, that's a very good for temples. That's a very good remedy as well. And I'm trying to think anything else. And the deity to be associated here is Shiva and Parvati. Yeah, Shiva Parvati, that's the deity. But this is kind of the remedies and stuff for typically for Scorpio ascendant people. Now, it's very important that you should know the ascendant, because the ascendant will change every 2 hours, right? And you should always keep a check when it's coming in that exact cusp, because every 4 minutes in an ascendant a degree will change within an ascendant every 4 minutes. So between less than 10 minutes you can have a change of ascendant if you're born at the end or beginning of an ascendant. Yeah. So knowing that ascendant, I think it's very important, and making sure you knowing the correct ascendant is all the more important. And we are only talking here Vedic astrology, not Western, because there is a 23 and a half degrees between Vedic and Western difference. Yeah. So, okay, Scorpio is last I finished. Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius. Jupiter is the Lagna Lord, plus Jupiter is also the fourth Lord. Okay, the ninth Lord is Sun. Sun doesn't have any other ownership, so it's only Sun. And the 10th Lord is Mercury, okay, for Sagittarius. So, because Sun is the most, using Sun's energy and Mercury energy is where one can reduce the karma, especially if you are a Sagittarius ascendant. So, Sunday is going to be very important for Sagittarius ascendant people. Fasting on a Sunday, if possible. I'm not again saying that everybody should fast, right? If at all, right? And feeding people on Sunday, right? Feeding poor people, whatever you can do that, right? And then avoid meat eating or seafood eating on a Sunday. Okay. The most important thing is respecting or having, or I should say, treat your father and your dad's family and all those things, right? Father's side, very important, right? I also say that, one of the karma for Sagittarius ascendant is also to help, lovers, if they're breaking up or something like that, right? Help those kind of people, help lovers, right? Share your knowledge, what you do. I've seen a lot of Sagittarius ascendant people try to get involved in stock market at some point of time in their life. Okay. And Leo ascendant is also one more thing. Leo ascendant also the same thing with stock market. Sagittarius is also one. Capricorn is also another one, and Cancer. The stock market, there's a lot of affinity for them. And if at all you can also teach people on stock market basics and stuff like that, for even for all of them, right? And Sagittarius ascendant also treating father as well as father-in-laws and fatherly like figures, very important. One of the important thing also is for them to give medicines to poor people, right? Whatever medicine they can afford, they want to give giving medicines. That's a very important remedy also. Yeah, medicines. Then helping older people, yeah, any kind of help. Okay. Even medicine instruments, anything associated with medicine. Yeah, I always say that Sagittarius ascendant, they got to be very careful when it comes to following the rules, right? Following the rules is very important. Even something small as giving books, pen, pencil, for education, all those things, that's a very good remedy for Sagittarius ascendant. And the deity associated will be Surya Narayana deity, right? Doing Aditya Hridayam, praying to sun is all a remedies associated for Sagittarius ascendant. Okay, all right. We got Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Okay, the time is 8:42. I've got we are the 10 or 15 minutes. I got to go. So I'll keep last 5 minutes or so for Q&A. Unless you want to start typing your questions, you can go ahead and start typing your questions. Yeah, because I'm going to answer quickly as I'm running out of time. I just realized that also. Okay, it's 8:43 already Central Time for me. Thank you. All right. The next one we are going to go is Capricorn. Okay. So Saturn is the Lagna Lord plus the second Lord. The ninth Lord will be Mercury, who is also the sixth Lord. Venus is the 10th Lord. Venus is also the fifth Lord, and Venus is the Yoga Karaka here. So again, the fifth and the 10th connection will happen because the Purva Punyasthana has to be exhausted, right? Which is what the thing will happen in 10th, because that between the 10th and the 5th, there is a Shashtashtaga relationship. Yeah. But we'll focus more on Mercury and to a little extent Venus. Okay. So Mercury is going to be the key here because Mercury is the, in this case, sorry, being a Capricorn ascendant, Mercury is the ninth lord here, right? And most important, the ninth lord, the ninth house is falling in Virgo, which is the Mula Trikona of Mercury, plus the exaltation as well. So Wednesday is going to be an important day. So fasting on a Wednesday, feeding people on a Wednesday, and specifically like feeding, like even giving green vegetables, donation of green vegetables, right? That's a very good remedy as well. Okay, because of Mercury here, and feeding people on a Wednesday as well. Avoid meat and all those things on a Wednesday. Okay, helping orphanage children is a very good remedy. Orphanage, then education, okay, helping and working or helping the relatives within the relatives family, because of Mercury it's a very important thing. Do some kind of teaching as well, right? Be it computer, software, IT, whatever you are, right? You can do that. Okay. And usually Capricorn ascendant people are also very good in something like documentation and stuff like that. So even helping in those kind of things is arbitration, right? Documentation, whatever you are good at, you can do that as well. Helping small children, one of the important thing is respecting women becomes a very important remedy for Capricorn ascendant people, right? Regardless of age, because sometimes it can be tricky based on age and stuff. So respecting women, because the 10th lord is here is Venus, who is also the fifth lord here. Okay. And I'm trying to think. The deity associated here for Capricorn ascendant is Krishna, Lakshmi, and Vishnu. Now, in Bhagavad Gita, as we know, Krishna says that among Rashi I'm Makara, right? Among Nakshatra I'm Abhijit. Even though we know Krishna is Rishabha Rasi and Rohini Nakshatra, right? But he moves everything towards Abhijit and Makara here. Feeding also to be homeless. Yes, absolutely. Feeding to homeless people as well. Correct. Homeless, poor people, orphanage. Yeah, whatever you can do. All right. Now after we finish Capricorn, we come to Aquarius. Okay, the one of the most difficult house in the zodiac, and it's purely based on light and karma here, right? So Aquarius, if you look at it, right, the Lagna Lord is Saturn, and the 12th Lord is also Saturn, right? The Lagna Lord plus the 12th Lord. Venus is the Yoga Karaka, who is the 4th Lord plus the ninth Lord. Okay, Venus is the 4th plus ninth, and Mars, right? If you look at Mars, is the 10th Lord, right? But Mars is also the third Lord, right? Third Lord. So Friday will become a very important day, right? Because naturally the ninth Lord is Venus here, right? Fasting, feeding people on Fridays, fasting on a Friday, right? Avoid meats on Fridays, right? One of the important remedy is helping the spouse, right? Spouse family, and even helping society, right? Society. okay, and helping a lot of ladies, especially, right, because of Venus, right? The important thing for Aquarius ascendant is because the karma is coming here and the Lagna Lord. Interestingly, if you look at the Lagna Lord, Saturn is exalted in the ninth, right? It's exalted in the night, who is also the karma keeper as well, right? He's exalted in the ninth. What is Libra? Libra is a sign of balance, right? It's a balance between the good and the bad karma. But that doesn't mean, Saturn doesn't know math. Even though Saturn's good friend is Mercury, he doesn't know math. The good is good, bad is bad. The bad will always come first, then only the good thing. If you look at the zodiac, the 10th is karma, the labhasthana is 11th. Finish your karma, then you get your labha. Without finishing your karma, you don't get your labha. Okay? So, even after the Sade Sati, the last part, when Saturn finishes only, he tries to give you good things because he's the karmic keeper. So one of the thing important for Aquarius people, ascendant people, is not focusing on anything like secret work, bad stuff, or anything like you can't speak out directly. Like I call it as the illegal stuff, right? Like anything with drugs or smuggling or any of those things, they got to be very careful here because the Lagna Lord himself wants the 12th, which is the Vyayasthana, plus exalted in the ninth here, right? In the Bhagyasthana. So they have to be very careful here. Okay. Usually Aquarius ascendant people, they do very well after marriage. Until marriage, there is always a challenge for them to get settled. Yeah. Blood donation becomes a very important thing for Aquarius ascendant people also. Yep. Treating siblings as well, very well, because of Mars, right? The ownership of the 10th. And the deity associated is Lakshmi and Vishnu here. Okay. That's the deity. All right, so Aquarius, we are finished. The last now comes to Pisces, okay, in the zodiac. Okay, Pisces ascendant. Jupiter is the Lagna Lord, right? Jupiter is also the Karma Lord. So the Lagna Lord plus Karma Lord. The only other time you see, the only other time you see is with Mercury, right? Virgo ascendant, where Mercury is the Lagna Lord plus the Karma Lord. So same thing here, Lagna Lord plus Karma Lord. Okay. Mars is the ninth Lord, also the second Lord. Okay. So naturally, Thursday will be very important here because, um, um, sorry, 1 minute, because, sorry, I think, okay, sorry, Mars is the ninth lord here, right? So Tuesday, right? Tuesday will be a very important day, right? For fasting and all those things. Okay, Tuesday. I said Thursday, my mistake. It's Tuesday, and fasting on a Tuesday, feeding people on a Tuesday, avoid meat, everything on Tuesdays, right? Even donating blood also, right, becomes a very important thing. Some of the good karma for Pisces ascendant people is to cook food on their own, okay, cooking on their own and then serving rather than just serving here. Yeah, so that's the small change here you're going to see is cooking and serving, cooking or catering, doing catering work, right? Again, they need to let some of the ego or their so-called strongness, because the Lagna Lord is also the 10th Lord here. Yeah, usually you see people with Pisces ascendant, they live for a longer time. Yeah, because Saturn, who's the karma is lord or the karma keeper, is exalted in the eighth here in Libra. Okay, the important point for Pisces ascendant is sometimes they can be playful, but the most important thing I would say is they need to fulfill their actions or the words for closure. What they say, sometimes can be casual. Don't say anything that is casual. Be serious in what you say and make sure to close what you say. Yeah, that's a very important thing for the closure, which means your words and actions must match, and with a timing for closure. Yeah, you just cannot take it for it. Siblings also is a very important thing. Helping siblings, helping, even donating blood, giving land or anything to a temple, something like that. You know, if you can help people with, buying uniforms and giving something like that, right? Construction people, military people, helping police people and all those things, right? So those are also the remedies as well for Pisces ascendant. The deity typically associated here is Muruga or Kartikeya. Yep. So I think I am done today for these things, and I've summarized it. I'll be happy to answer questions as I can do another 8 more minutes. Yeah, if you have any questions, you can start asking by coming as a speaker, or you can, in the comment box or back channel, whatever works. I have some question. I'm just going to read out what I have. Until that, you can start typing. Yeah. Um, can someone be born rich or become billionaire due to desire, but still issues and bad karma? See, see, look at it this way. It's a good question. Look at, being rich means you enjoy a lot of things, right? And today we are living in a yuga called Kali Yuga, which is a materialistic world. Even to do that kind of, getting money and all those things, right? You need to have done some kind of donations and all those things in your past life to achieve that. And 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 maybe I'll answer a point. Okay, I think I did not mention it. I'll answer a point how to answer this. Okay, so the interesting thing is that in any basic chart, okay, there is something called a Kendra and a Trikona, and I mentioned it in the last recorded session. Yeah, Kendra and Trikona. So a Kendra is 4, 7, and 10. A Lagna is a combination of Kendra and a Trikona, and the Trikona is 5th and 9th. Okay, so to the question, the 5th and the 9th, and the 5th lord and the 9th lord, if you look at it, it's called a Bhagyasthana. That's luck. Okay, that's luck. Now, and the 4th, 7th, and 10th, it's nothing but effort. The work you do, the effort you do, right? And what you get from that. Okay, that's the Kendra Sthana. So if you look at a chart, right? If you look at a chart, if you look at anybody's chart, go check how many planets are in Kendra, how many are in Trikona. Look at the strength. If somebody has got Kendra very strong, right? The 4, 7, and 10, they will come up through their own effort in their life, right? Through their own effort. Yeah. Through hard work. Now, we all know this, that luck is not permanent, luck is temporary, right? Effort is also Effort is permanent, but what you get, the result is not in your hands. Like again, what Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, right? You put the effort, the result is not in your hands because it's in my hands, right? So you put that effort, right? But luck is temporary, luck is not permanent, okay? So the point is, the luck is associated with the 5th and the 9th, the Trikonas. The Kendras is where the effort is going to come, 4, 7, and 10th. Okay, so anybody's chart, when they have planets in 4th, 7th, and 10th and very strong, they will put effort and come up in life. Okay, anybody's chart where 5th and 9th is very strong than the Kendra, right? Somehow they'll be blessed, they'll be always lucky to come up in a certain point of time in the life. Will it last lifelong? You'll have to see that. But that's when the Mahadasa and Antardasa comes in. Okay. Okay, so so that's an important point. So I hope I answered the question in terms of born, rich or become billionaire due to desire. It's not due to desire. Due to desire, I mean, you're just born because of due to desire. You're trying to become a billionaire, right? How many billionaires do you have in the world? You can count. You can really count today how many billionaires are in the world, right? In that case, everybody can be a billionaire, right? No, you want to become, you will be reborn, trying to become a billionaire, but it's an illusion. You're going to go into it, okay? So, but still issues and bad karma. So just because one of them is a billionaire doesn't mean that that person's karma is all good and everything, right? Everybody has some kind of, it's a combination, as I said earlier, of good and bad cholesterol, right? It's like a good and a bad karma, similar to that. Okay. From where are you running this program or talk program? I mean, just call me Srini. I'm not Guruji and all. I'm running this program from the Midwest in the US. Yeah. How to reach you? You can check my email address and everything in the profile. You can reach me by email. Yep. Okay. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the kind note, Pratima. Thank you. What happens when you don't know the time of birth? Does that imply in any more or less bad or good karma? And it's possible to discover by feeling and executing different type of strategies. So if you don't know the time of birth, right, there is something called time rectification one can do. Yeah, it takes some time. You can do time rectification. Okay. And does that imply in any more or less bad, or it's a good question, right? So look at it this way. I'm going to leave it up to GB, right? That's a great question you asked, right? I'm going to leave it up to you, okay? But see if you can think through this. Let's take an example. 100 years before, when there were no Google Maps, okay? Even in the US, for example, right? All of us has to have a map book, right? There's no Google Maps. Let's go 100 years before exactly, right? How do you know if the road is blocked or not? You may have a radio, you listen to a radio in the car. How do you know the weather is bad, right? Now, is that bad karma or good karma versus we have Google Maps and we know that that road is blocked, that exit is closed, we are going to have bad weather day after tomorrow. Is that good or bad karma, right? 100 years ago to 100 years to now, right? So it's very similar to Google Maps as an example to guide. Yeah. So I'm going to leave it up to you. I'm going to leave it up to you to figure it out as what is good and bad, but that's kind of what it is. And is it possible to discover by feeling and executing different type of strategies? See, I always say this, right? If you don't know, right, you have to ask for help. You need to ask for help. You need to speak out louder, right? You have to do prayers. You have to do a lot of things, right? You will get an answer, okay? As kind of what you will get a guidance. I can tell you that, okay? All right. Thank you, GB. Okay, Purnima, I confirm, Srini, my karma has kicked in and God has given me an opportunity enabling me to do most of the remedies you have mentioned for my ascendant. Thanks a ton to you for this beautiful section. Feeling blessed. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Vandana, know people with Aries, Cancer, Libra, Sagittarius, Capricorn who have done the remedies unknowingly. So thank you for the wonderful section. Thank you. Chamat, since Virgo and Aquarius, so Virgo is okay, Aquarius has Fridays, so fasting. It is good to marriage between Virgo and Aquarius couple. Well, good point. You just don't look at an ascendant and make a marriage. Yeah, there is more than an ascendant. It's just a one point for marriage in this case. Okay, so it's just not an ascendant here. First of all, marriage has to be promised in the chart for both. Yeah, and then you have to look at other things. Just an ascendant alone won't help. Okay, Mira, it's my karma to have met you and learned on these remedies, and then doing the remedies, which I believe has changed my life. Thanks for the great session. It's my karma also to do the same, right? To give and make people influence them with that. So it's also my karma. It's also your karma as well. But thank you for the kind note, Mira. Appreciate it. Abhinas, hi. Is Ascendant Lagna always same for one for whole life or it changes? It's the same thing, right? From for this life, this birth. I have Gemini as per Vedic astrology. So will it be the same? Yes, it's going to be the same for this life. Yep, for this life. Okay. Bhavani, thank you. Thank you again. Karthik, thank you. Shubha, thank you. I'm just looking if there are any questions in back channel. Okay. Interesting. So, Rahu, right? Rahu and Ketu, right? Again, right? I explained earlier about Rahu and Ketu. If you eliminate Rahu and Ketu in the whole system, you see the Mahadasa sequence, right? Number one, okay? Number one. Number two is, if you look at the darkest house in the zodiac is Aquarius. And again, please, right, understand, right, understand that the dark, understand karma, understand light, understand karma, understand Vedic astrology with light and darkness. Okay? Light and darkness, right? That is where I think we'll all get to know better about Vedic astrology. Everything's based on light. Okay? So the most important thing about Rahu Ketu, they are the most karmic planet. Saturn is the karma keeper, but Rahu Ketu equally is very potent from karma. And end of the day, right? I explained the three reasons before as where there is karma and when one, why is people reborn, the three reasons I gave, right? So somewhere if you see between Rahu Ketu, right, and there is always some kind of mystery in the chart. The mystery in the chart is always in Aquarius, right? Aquarius is where the deep mystery is, because it's a pot. Somebody said there is pot of water. It's a pot. Somebody said there is coins. Somebody said there is gold. It's a mystery. Maybe I know somebody, I think somebody mentioned about air or space. Maybe it's just air or empty, right? That's the mystery thing about Aquarius, right? It's a mystery. Aquarius is a dark mystery, you can call it, right? But that's the beautiful part. You don't know what you're going to get. You don't know, right? Look at the nakshatras associated in Aquarius, right? You have Dhanishta, a broken nakshatra of Mars. And then you have Satabhisha, which is a strong Rahu nakshatra, right? And then you have Purva Bhadrapada, which is a Jupiter nakshatra, broken nakshatra. Okay, so very interestingly, look at the energy. Plus, Aquarius is not only the darkest zodiac sign, right, in terms of light, right? It's also very cold. Okay, extremely cold. And also, what else you can know? It's more a fixed sign, right? It's a fixed sign. It's a male sign. Okay, okay, it's a male sign, right? And what else you can think of? It's an air sign. Yeah, so very important to note that as well. All right. And so the point is, Rahu Ketu, as it will bring you a different level of karma than Saturn. But Saturn controls karma through its adipatya as well, right? Through Capricorn and Aquarius plus Saturn, right? Plus Rahu Ketu will control its karma typically through its Mahadasa, Antardasa, and the placement. And Rahu Ketu are shadow planets, so they can give you based on, the conjunction, the aspect, which house they sit, etc. Yep. Um, so Arjani, good. Thank you for the kind note. Also, how do you know people did remedies without knowing? Good point, right? So, see, this is where Vedic astrology comes in, right? See, astrology is a pattern, okay? It's a pattern, it's a combination, okay? Now, the reality, I know why somebody did a remedy without knowing it is because you have in your chart a trikona, the fifth and the ninth, okay? I always say, right, your Lagna Lord, your fifth Lord, your ninth Lord. Three important pillars. Okay? Imagine somebody is building a house. You put the three pillars in the three corners. That's the base of the house. And the roof you put on top is the Kendra. Okay, the roof. Now, somebody would have had the first Lord Mahadasa or Antardasa, fifth Lord Mahadasa or Antardasa, ninth Lord Mahadasa or Antardasa. When one of these three things comes, right, somehow you get a direction to do something, right? To get to something, you get a direction. One gets a direction, but you just don't know that what is behind that. You don't know the magic or the mystery behind that is helping you. Yeah, so that's the whole thing, because one would have had a fifth or a ninth lord antardasa, even if not a mahadasa or a lagna lord. So that's kind of what makes me believe and confirm that They would have done it without knowing it. Yeah, I hope this answers the question. Harish, thank you. Hanusan, why you don't keep replays on? My apologies. I apologized earlier. I always keep my replays on. It is just a miss. It's a karma as well. That's the only way I can answer this today. I apologize for it. And if people need this session again, I will be happy to do it again. It's a karma. Let me put it that way with a replay on. But I need to get at least 21 votes for that. 21 is the number. Yeah. 21 falls in, if you look at 21 as a number, it will go to Capricorn straight away. So I need 21 votes if this replay needs to be done into, not in this session right now. After the session, you can message me in back channel or email, whatever it is. I need exactly 21 votes and above. If if the session wants to be done again, I'll be happy to do it. Okay. Oh, demonic, thank you. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Yeah, that's okay. Thank you, demonic. Padmini, thank you for the replay already. It's counted. Yep. Okay. Kanag, replay counted as well. 2 votes. Okay. I have just a question. How does someone become a guru? See, what does guru mean? Guru means removal of darkness. Okay, which means you're going to give light. That is also the word guru mean, right? See, in order to become a guru, there are a few steps one needs to go to that level. Okay, so it is a step by step phases, right? There are, the way my guru taught me, or the way my guru told me, is there are like 9 steps. Eventually, one can become a guru, right? There are 9 steps to it, right? And all of us, including me, are not in that position, to be honest, right? That's the thing I say. I've crossed the halfway mark. I've come close to the 75% mark, but I still have to, if you ask me, I'm just giving an example, I still have to go another mark. So at least most of us, should not say all, most of us have a certain point to reach, right? But there are several steps to climb. Okay, and it's very simple. I think, I'm not keeping a count, right? I think 1, 2, 3, 4 so far. I've not kept a count. I'm going to ask somebody to keep a count for me, but but just the same way I explained in one session, right? In Vaikuntha, there are 4 doors. The 4 doors to open, right? Just because one is a good person and one reaches heaven, the first door will open. But the second and the third and the fourth opening the door, right, to go to Vaikuntha, eventually to reach what is called Paramapada, there is no guarantee. The second, third, fourth. Only the first door is controlled by Jaya and Vijaya. The second, third, fourth is not controlled by Jaya and Vijaya. It only will open based on your good deeds done. And those are, right? I'll explain. Other than being a good person and one reaches heaven, the first door open. And that message to Jaya and Vijaya is given telepathically by Vishnu, saying this person is going to come, let the door be opened. And Jaya Vijaya will control it. The second and the third and the fourth, right? The second door, it is going to be only opened between the second, third, and the fourth, right? The 3 doors are pending, right? One has to kill their ego. That's very important, right? Another door will open, the third one to follow, right? Is one doesn't live for oneself, but starts to live for others, helping others rather than being selfish. And the last door will only open, right? Right? The last door will only open when one follows the path of Dharma, right? Dharma, right? When you start following the path of Dharma, then only the last door will open. So there are 4 doors to the same thing. In the Guru, there is 9 things, right? So similar to that. Okay. How to know home Vastu is good not and do some remedy through astrology, or it will be through Vastu study only. Vastu, Vastu, numerology, changing names like graphology, everything, right? None of them will supersede astrology. Astrology is the parent here. Okay, you will in the home you will get indicators, right? If the vastu is good, bad, or not. Okay, some indicators could be, for example, right, water always draining, for example. Okay, pipes getting broken, for example. I'm just giving some examples. Okay, water always getting, pipes getting, always one calls in for some kind of handyman to come and fix something. Yes, it could be a whole home or anything. It can also happen in a new home. Okay, third, the fourth one thing could be is there is bad energy in the room, which means one is not able to go and sleep in the bed as soon as the person hits the bed. Yeah, assuming the person is able to sleep somewhere else. Yeah, so there are several ways to look at the thing. Vastu is one way to validate it, but the parent is all going to be in a chart. Yeah, all right. I think I've already crossed my time, so I think I will wait for the votes to come. I believe there are four votes. All right. So thank you for joining. As I said, once I get 21 votes and above, I will make sure to replay this session or put a session again. And I don't think next week I'm going to have a call because I have some work call. So I don't think next week there's going to be a session, but the next session will be, I would say, next to next week on a Wednesday. But if there is anything, I will try to do it next week, Thursday. But if not, next to next week on a Wednesday. Yeah. I thank you again. My sincere apologies somehow today that I really missed to do the replay or the recording somehow. So my apologies for that. And thank you. And thanks for the great participation today. And I'm just going to say a prayer and I'll end the session by closing the room. Yeah. Thank you again. I'm just going to say a prayer. All right. Thank you. And I'm going to be closing the room. And thanks again and have a great day. Yeah.